Only 2 teams remain undefeated in Southwest Virginia, and a crazy debacle down in Hazard High School associated with homecoming. We're going to talk about that, all that and more here on episode 4.8 of After the Whistle. I'm your host, Brian Moore. And if you'll notice, I'm alone flying solo here today, but not for the entire program because Coach Greg Tester is going to chime in here in just a little bit with us, and we're going to cover our top 5 as well as our predictions for this coming week. He's going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Wise as well. If you'll also notice, Coach Krieger's not here. Coach Krieger's on a abbreviated vacation and couldn't come in today, so there'll be no Stump the Krieg, but hopefully he'll be back with us next week, and we'll be back in the friendly confines of Bellacino's with all that good free food Coach Tester provides us with. With that being said, let's take a look at some of the games, recap for this past week. And talk a little bit about them. We'll keep it kind of short and sweet. Grundy 40, Hurley 8. Ian Scammell had 206 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns on 13 carries, lead Grundy over Hurley in convincing fashion, 40-8. That's BDD competition. Grundy now goes 3-3, 1-1 in the BDD. Hurley was outrushed 344-8 in the opening half. That's right, the opening half alone. The score's 40-0 at the break, and it didn't get Hurley was never really in the game, but the Rebels still are a young, inexperienced team, and this was a BDD game that Grundy, for whatever reason, needed to get the win in order to continue any chance they have toward the playoffs. Big game coming up tonight, Thursday, as we're recording this with Grundy and Twin Valley at Twin Valley. It has major playoff ramifications on the line. Both teams set to pick up some big points there. All right, next we've got Patrick Henry 27, Honaker 21. Not a surprise. We talked about this game probably going to be close, maybe a little bit closer than I thought it would be. Honaker was a game pretty much all night. Honaker, a very well-prepared team regardless of who their opponent is. Jaquan McPhail rushed for 146 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Rebels. Connor Beeson had 13 carries, 111 yards. And they basically the touchdown run, a 45-yard touchdown run by Connor Beeson with about 5.5 minutes to go in the game is the difference in this game. PH finished with 362 yards of total offense. Honaker still in the driver's seat in the BDD. In front of them could be Twin Valley. It depends on what happens tonight. Twin Valley still yet to play. Honaker, they'll play next Wednesday. Virginia High 53, Chilhowie 14. Johnny Delaney scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter to lead Virginia High over Chilhowie, who has previously been unbeaten. And this was, of course, a big game, marquee matchup that we were looking at. Turned out not to be as close as we thought it would be, but Virginia High is back in the win column, and Chilhowie goes back to the drawing board this week, and they still got a couple big games left on their schedule too. Another game that was about what we expected, maybe even more so, and that's Wise 72, Lee 21. 8 different players scored touchdowns for Central. It's the most points ever scored by a Central football team in the school's history. As a matter of fact, let's see here. It's also the most scored by a team in far southwest Virginia this season, 72 points. Central is now sitting at 5-3. They only ran 30 offensive plays. They scored on 9 of them. So, it's not like they had the foot on the gas pedal all night long. Really neat note here is Ricky Onate, the kicker for Wise, was a perfect 10 for 10 on extra points. He's been doing a really good job kicking the ball this year for them, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Onate there. Lee drops to 3-5, but Pendergraft, Brennan Pendergraft, had 56 yards rushing and caught 2 touchdown passes. So good sign for Lehigh, getting back in the end zone, but not coming out with a big win there or anything. But they're still moving in the right direction. Another big game that did surprise a lot of people was Graham and Pulaski. Graham pretty much handled Pulaski 58-18. Zach Blevins had 147 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. He also rushed for 131 yards and another score. Bluefield's favorite sons right now, the Graham G men, are 8-0, and this is a very impressive win against a larger 4A school, Pulaski County. You would have thought coming out of the Virginia High game that maybe Graham would have been a little bit fatigued, a little bit worn out, but that didn't seem to be the case here. Pulaski ends up now they're sitting at 4-4, but Graham really just hammered them, outrushed them. I think total offense, 392 yards to like 242 yards of total offense. The key story to in this game was Pulaski's 3 turnovers and the fact that Graham was able to capitalize on it. So Graham improves to 8-0. Them and Holston are the only 2 unbeaten teams left in Southwest Virginia. Union 49, Richlands 27. Zach Blevins had 147 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he rushed for 131 yards as well. I said Zach Blevins. I'm wrong ball game. Yeah, no, it is correct. I'm way messed up here. We've got some stats that are out of order here. Sage Webb. All right, here's what we got. Sorry about that. Sage Webb scored 3 of Richland's 4 touchdowns, while the Blues received 162 yards passing, 2 touchdowns to quarterback Gavin Cox. It just wasn't enough. Union back in the win column, Union playing much better with a 49-27 win. You know, this was a big game for several years, marquee game in Southwest Virginia, but Union has pretty much owned this thing the last little bit. Richlands not playing maybe as well as a lot of people expected them this year, but nonetheless, hats off to Union getting back in the win column. All right, J.I. Burton 34, Castlewood, the Mustard Biscuit Brigade 13. Jamin Buchanan, Braden Dutton, they were the 1-2 punch that Burton needed to get this first win of the season and get the monkey off their back after going 0-7. Buchanan had 137 yards rushing on 12 carries. He had 2 touchdowns. And he even threw a 20-yard touchdown pass to Dutton in the game as Burton finally picks up that much-needed win. Burton, now 1-7, held a 324-yard to 159-yard edge in total offense. Castlewood battling against the numbers. That's the big problem with Castlewood. It's not the hearts, not the efforts, not the coaching. It's just the fact that they've got a numbers problem right now, and those kids are playing their hearts out. It's just not working out the best for them, even though they do have a couple of wins. Another big game in the Southwest District, Tazewell 40, Marion 41. It was really an air show, to be perfectly honest with you, for Tazewell. The Creasy kid passed for 407 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was 24 of 35 passing. And what's interesting is the Marion contingency also decided to sling the ball around a little bit. So there was a lot of passing going on in this game. Creasy, as I said before, threw 3 touchdown passes. All those were caught by Cassius Harris, who has had a 20 reception game earlier in the season. He had 9 the other night, and those 9 receptions were good for 230 yards. Marion drops another game in the Southwest District, but Marion was game. They were game for most of this one going into the halftime. I think the score was 12-6. They even led 6-0 early in the game, and then we're down 12-6 at the half. But in the third quarter, things just fell apart for the Scarlet Hurricanes. So big Southwest District win for Tazewell, 40-14 over Marion. All right, this is a big one here. Patrick Henry, Honecker. Actually, I think we done covered that one. Patrick Henry and Honecker. Let's see here. We've got that one covered. Abingdon 42, Ridgeview 12. Ridgeview suffers a loss, Mountain 7 loss. Abingdon's now looks like going to be the Mountain 7 champs. Gate City 42, John Battle 6. The woes continue for John Battle this season. Gate City finds a way into the win column. All right, that includes all of our games that we have info for last week. We'd like to thank the folks at Buchanan General Hospital, not Buchanan General Hospital, but Buchanan Therapy Services for sponsoring our weekly recap. Up next, we have our Peak Performer of the Week, and our Peak Performer of the Week is Ricky Onate from Y Central, who was 10 for 10 on extra points and has proven to be a very effective and efficient kicker throughout this season so far. So hats off to Ricky Onate being our Peak Performer of the Week, brought to you by True Point Bank. All right, up next is we have our Big Talk segment. And our Big Talk segment is brought to you by Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. If you've never been up there, folks, you need to check them out in Buchanan County. It's one of the best kept secrets in Southwest Virginia. That's Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures for camping, ATV rentals. They've also got a wide variety of access to all the Spearhead trails and so forth, the Coe Canyon Trail, and they can give you some advice and tips on where to go and where to see elk and so forth. So check out the folks at Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. All right, our Big Talk segment. Some of you may have heard about this, but a situation took place at Hazard High School in Perry County in Kentucky that's been making headlines and finally actually made some national headlines regarding a homecoming incident. We're going to take a look at a news clip here in just a second about that. But basically what happened was during homecoming festivities and activities, a bunch of students were engaged in doing skits and performances. And there are some photos that were released and placed on social media. Some of these photos were even on the school's website, or the school's social media accounts. And these photos depicted students, players dressing as females. I think it was an event called a man pageant, if you will. And these boys were doing lap dances in front of they were doing lap dances to male teachers. You had students, cheerleaders who were dressed up as Hooters girls carrying mugs out that appeared to have beer in them. Of course, it wasn't beer. It was just something else, probably apple juice. But these girls were dressed up like Hooters girls, and they were distributing these drinks. There was even some photos where students were paddling other students. And all of this stuff really took off and exploded on social media. And as a result of it, Hazard is doing damage control right now. And like I said, we'll take a look at Lexington 18 news channel from NBC and what they had to say about this entire thing. So let's take a look at it.
An investigation is underway at Hazard High School in Perry County after images taken during a homecoming event were posted online. Now, they include pictures of students in lingerie and bikinis dancing on teachers.
The school is receiving backlash on social media from parents who are calling the incident inappropriate and disturbing. LEX 18 Sophia Millar hears from them, and one parent who says the photos don't tell the whole story. Now, we do want to warn you, some of you may find some of these images disturbing. Details now in the LEX 18 Big Story at 6.
The pictures were originally posted on the Hazard High School Athletics Facebook page, but have since been removed. We have blurred the faces of students to protect their privacy. We are told it was part of homecoming week celebrations. Tuesday was costume day, and there was a man pageant in the gym. These are some of the images receiving the most criticism. They appear to show scantily clad students giving lap dances to faculty and staff. Others showed female students dressed in Hooters costumes, carrying mugs that looked like there was beer in them. And in others, students and staff appear to spank or paddle each other.
It was just really shocking whenever I first saw it, and I almost couldn't wrap my head around it.
Hazard mom Jenna Smith has a family member at the high school and kids in the district. She says the event should have been shut down the moment an adult realized students were undressing.
I think that they should have at that point said, hey, I know this is a joke, but let's stop. This isn't appropriate.
Mom Holly Lane disagrees.
It has been taken completely out of context. There are only photos being shown on the internet, no videos. So the photos don't show the teachers pushing the children off of them.
Lane's sons and his friends participated in the homecoming event. She says pushing the limits and embarrassing teachers is part of the fun.
If everybody is perfect, then I would say, yeah, maybe we need to rethink something. But until somebody can prove that something is going on here, other than just homecoming week and teenagers being teenagers, then I'll support my kids.
The way that I think.
Okay, there you have it. That's straight from Lex 18, the NBC affiliate down there in Lexington, Kentucky. And you see what's happening. This is one of those things that homecoming festivities can get out of control. Naturally, a lot of the people's concerns are going to be, how were these things happening? And no adult stepped up and said, all right, hang on a minute, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Not trying to defend it or anything like that, because you get caught up in a situation like that. There probably were some objections to it. I don't know all the stories and all the facts and all the info, but it sure does look bad on this school district. And I think probably the next time they have a homecoming activity that they're probably going to be get everything pre-approved before it happens. And I know several years ago, we never had anything of this nature take place, but it always became a policy of ours here at the school that I work at, that we would vet anything that would be done at these particular activities, and we would know about it in advance. And if it was music or if it was a script or anything, we kind of look over it to make sure that these type of situations do not happen and arise. But it's unfortunate for everyone involved, because it's a black mark on that school. And a lot of people may have taken offense to it. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section of the video what you think about our big talk topic for today, Hazard Kentucky High School homecoming incident. Congratulations to Logan Looney from Grundy High School being our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. And now we're back here with Coach Tester. Finally, after all these weeks, we've got you on screen at least. Coach, how's things going over there in big town of Hurley?
It's going, man, slowly but surely, just day by day. So been a busy man, been traveling back and forth, and ain't found time to come to the famous restaurant over there to get me about to eat.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I understand that your guys win the championship game there on, was it Wednesday?
Oh, yeah, our little ones, yeah, they won it. Yeah, they sure did.
Finished season 12-0, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's a pretty good accomplishment. Got any good running backs over there?
I'm going to be like the rest of these little league coaches, man. I don't know why. You know what the problem is? We're sending them all these good kids, man. They should be winning, right?
That's true. I mean, if they win at the little league level, they ought to win at the high school level.
Typical little league coach. Nah, I'm not that guy. So,
all right, well, let's get straight to it. It's time for our top five, brought to you by the Patriot Outpost, and we're going to go ahead and get straight to it. Let's talk about 1A real quick. What do you have in 1A, and then I'll follow up behind you.
All right, my 1A, man. 1A right now is it's a kind of a toss-up in a way. I got Grundy coming in at number 5. I got the Honeacre Tigers, which is a favorite to win the Black Diamond, coming in at number 4. And number 3, I got Seth Padgett's Patrick Henry Rebels. Number 2, I got the Chilhowie Warriors, and sitting alone at the top at 8-0, I got the Houston Cavaliers.
That's pretty good top 5. I bet you forgot one there. You'll hear it when
who could forget?
My top 5 of 1A, I got Honeacre sitting at number 5. I think they're going to probably be the odds-on favorite to win the BDD. They got a big game coming up tomorrow night with Twin Valley. They take care of that. They're going to be in the driver's seat with only Hurley in front of them. I got Honeacre at 5. I got PH coming in at number 4. And it was tough for me to call PH at 4 because they're playing Honaker. So I think you're going to not Honaker, but Chilhowie, excuse me, this week. So that's going to be a big game there. Twin Springs, I have them coming in at number 3.
Oh man. Scratch. Hold on. I don't know how I forgot this, guys. I apologize, Coach Warner. Man, I got to knock Grundy out of the top 5 and put Twin. You know what? I'm going to slide Twin Springs to number 3.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'm going to slide Twin Springs to number 3. You was right, man.
As usual.
Hey, man, I've been out of the loop, man. So I'm going to slide PH back to number 4. And, you know, I got to go with Honaker at 5 since they topped Grundy earlier. So I'm going to go with Honaker at 5. God, can't believe you let me do that, man.
So you got Honaker 5.
PH at 4. Twin Springs at 3. Chilhowie at 2. And Houston at 1.
Okay, that's exactly what I have.
All right. I cheated then.
That's my 1A right there as well. I've got Honaker 5, PH at 4, Twin Springs at 3, Chilhowie at 2, and Holston at 1. That 7-0 win by Chilhowie over Northwood got me a little bit concerned about them. Not saying that Northwood isn't that good, but I expected Chilhowie to have a bigger win against them. And so I don't know if there was something going on there, if it was weather related, COVID related, injuries or what have you, but that made me a little bit concerned, so I slid them back to number 2. And I think they've got a big game coming up this week that we'll talk about later on. 2A, I'll list my 2A first and then let you go last.
All right.
2A, number 5 this week, I've got Virginia High Bearcats coming in. Got back on the winning route there with the big win against Chilhowie. I've got Ridgeview coming in at number 4. Union Bears at number 3, and this pains me to say this, but Wise Central at number 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me stop you for 1 second there. I ain't been on here in a minute, man. I don't think I've been on here since the Central Union game, have I?
Nope. I don't think so.
What was that you said? We were sitting on the porch at Bellacino'S. I'm going to say 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
What was that you said? I can't remember.
You want to, we'll take a look at that clip.
Man, you got to
Take a
look,
look
man.
through. That's true. I see those two coming back and playing again, Union Graham, and I tell you what, I can see PH Chilhowie been in.
What are you saying? You ain't gonna see Wise come back and play again?
Well, they might be.
Hold on.
They might be.
Let's cut it clear. You're saying Wise ain't gonna be in the mix in the top 2. So we can rewind this here in a couple of weeks. So
We're gonna play it back. Maybe
we're gonna play it back. So
I promise you, if I get it wrong, I won't miss 3 weeks.
go ahead and say Wise. I want you to
Look,
say,
I won't miss 3 weeks licking my wounds.
I want you to say Wise is not gonna be in the top 5 or in the region mix up. In the region mix.
Oh yeah, I think they'll be in the mix. You talking about like top 2?
Top 2, yeah.
No, they won't be in the top 2. All right. So you can take that to the.
All right. There you have it.
There you go. There's the evidence of it.
Eating that crow, boy.
Yeah, I told them last week if y'all had served crow at Bellacino'S, I'd have ordered a plate of it.
Here's the deal. Before you go on here, let me process something for you here real quick. And nobody, when we lost 3 in a row there, we got upset by Ridgeview. Now, no pun intended, but I thought we was the better football team. Then we come against Christiansburg, which is 3A, sitting at 6-1 right now. We lost to another 3A school called Abbott 28-21, and I think we lost 28-20 to Christiansburg, which if we could have connected on the extra point, win in overtime. But we had to let them score at the end. So, having said that, it's not like we've lost to Jenkins and Montcalm. So that's what a lot of people forgot. We lost to 2 3A schools, and I think we got upset by Ridgeview, which in that Mountain 7 can happen with any team because I think any team is that close. And like I said, I think we were really focused in the Union game and just came out on fire. Things went our way. And we got back, I think, to finding what we do well and what our identity was. So
yeah, well, for going 3-3, it looked like I'm not going to lie to you, myself and a lot of people had you guys written off, and then of course that big win against Union changes everything.
Hey, but what I say, who'd we lose to?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look at
Who'd
who
we
you
lose
lost
to?
Yeah, you lost to some very good quality teams there. It's not like you were losing to people that you shouldn't be losing to, or
Right.
people you should. And all three of those games were actually well contested games too, so they weren't routes or anything.
Right.
But for that reason, I've got you guys back in the hunt there at number 2, and at number 1, I've got the Graham G men, the top at the top here in the region. So that rounds out our top 5. What about you got? What you got?
Man, I'm right on par with you right here. I got the Bearcats coming in at number 5. I think it's a really good football team, really explosive, dangerous team. Could be looking like things develop the way they develop. Maybe a team we see in the first round. I got them at number 5 with their only loss coming to Graham. Number 4, I got the Wolfpack. And I think Ridgeview's dropped. Is it 2 in a row here? They dropped 2 in a row. Like I said, they dropped 2 tough ones to Union and Abilene. The Abilene score was a little surprising. But like I said, Abilene is a 3A, really good football team. But I still got Ridgeview sitting in there at number 4. And they'll be in the mix here in the end. And number 3, I had to slide the old Union Bears back one spot there to make room for that number 2 team in the Central Warriors. Luscious Luke. Is that what Krieger calls him? Luscious Luke.
I don't know, but that's a good one.
Yeah. All right. And number 1, like I said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Palmer's Patron, Tony Palmer, and the Graham G men is my number 1 team right now.
Graham's still looking to be a team to beat in the region.
We're confused right now on how these playoffs are going to work. We've heard PowerPoints. We've heard top 4 in each district going to cross bracket. There's some interesting games coming up here that can determine, who's going to be the 1, 2, and 3 seed in the Mountain 7. So I don't know about the Southwest. I think Graham's hanging in there at number 1, but I think in the Mountain 7, Abilene and Union's going to impact that a little bit, and I think the Ridgeview Beaver game could be a big implication on how the seedings are, because a lot of PowerPoints involved there.
Yeah. All right. Well, that takes care of our top 5, brought to you by the Patriot Outpost. Up next, we've got our Pigskin Prognostications, as always, brought to you.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles.
That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
There is a major incident in Lower Manhattan.
We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at...
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the monster hurricane and its deadly impact already. And tonight, up and down the East Coast, authorities...
Is always brought to you by Buchanan General Hospital. Let's take a look at these games. Get your picks, your thoughts on it. Quite a few here this week, and a couple of games that's got me puzzled as to why they're being played, but that's beyond my purview, so I don't really know for sure. We'll talk about that maybe. The first one I've got on the list here, this one is a little bit surprising. Castlewood is playing Pikeville, Kentucky. And Mustard Biscuit Brigade they have really scheduled one here. I don't know if this is a COVID makeup or what, but I don't know if they know what they're getting into here. This is going to be a buzzsaw.
Well, I think the coach does. I think him and Coach Justice text back and forth. They couldn't work anything out with their schedule earlier, and I didn't think he wanted to go to Pikeville. I think he told Coach Justice something like that. So, but that's going to be a tough one, man. That's definitely out of their league.
So, yeah, Pikeville is no offense to Castlewood, but
yeah,
this is a team you probably, especially with the numbers problems that they have. This is a team that you really don't need on the schedule. I hope that all goes well for them here in this game. But I'm going to go with Pikeville, of course, in this one based on my record.
Really? Come on.
Yeah, I've got Pikeville. Who you got?
All right, I'm going to go with the Pikeville Panthers, and I just want to say I hope I think they will be. I think there's a quality group of coaches down there. I hope they're nice to Coach Lark.
Yeah. Castlewood, the numbers game is going to be a problem for them in this one.
Yes.
All right, but good luck to the Mustard Biscuit Brigade. Bluefield versus Ridgeview. This is a big points game right here. And looking at Bluefield, the way they've been playing and everything, and still think they're a quality football team, I'm going to pick Ridgeview in this one.
You know, this is like one of those games that where a lot of it's relying on PowerPoints and stuff. And I'm kind of, undecided whether I want to be that 2 seed or that 3 seed and what side of the bracket we want on. So it's going to determine a lot of that. But having said that, I kind of, I think Bluefield may be, hard to beat. Is it at Beaver? Is it at Bluefield?
I'm not sure where it's at.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they've had people quarantined, but I'm going to go with the Beavers in this. I just don't think Ridgeview's playing well enough right now to beat them.
All right. Hurley versus Montcalm. Rebels coming off a tough loss to Grundy here just the other night.
Be careful. I got a player sitting in here now.
Myself, I think Hurley's got what it takes to win this game here. I think they've shown at times. I mean, they played Honecker really tight there for a half, and then right before halftime, the wheels came off of it. So I think Hurley has a better team. If they get enough momentum, I think they can pull this one off. So I'm going with the Rebels.
Right. Hurley's had a lot going on this year, especially with the flooding and the quarantines, and they've really not had every player in all the games and not making any excuses or anything like that. They've just not got it all together yet, and they've had, unfortunate circumstances. I think Montcalm is definitely a winnable game for them, but going down there in West Virginia, you know how it is down there. You're going to have to be decisively better.
That's true.
But I'm still, I think this is a very winnable game, and I think the Rebels will pull it off down in West Virginia. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to say a 12-8 ball game. Hurley on top.
Well, you're already 14 behind when you go to West Virginia, so 12-8 won't win it.
Right.
Both of us picking the Rebels. I got Rural Retreat versus Holston. Be simple on this one here. I think Rural Retreat is going to be game probably for 3 of the 4 quarters, but that 1 quarter is going to bite them in the butt. I'm going with Holston on this one.
I got you. I'm with you on that. I don't know a whole lot about Rural Retreat, but it seems like I've watched some film on Holston. They seem like they're a pretty disciplined, pretty sound football team, and they're rolling right now. I'm going to go with the Cavaliers on this one.
All right. Northwood versus Honecker. This is Doug Hubbard Appreciation Night there at EMAT Stadium for the Tigers. And Montcalm has, although they've played well Northwood, although they've played well at times this season and had a really good game with Chilhowie, I'm going to take Honecker in this one.
I'm going to too. No way Doug Hubbard's going out like that tonight at his ceremony.
This next game is a big one. This is one I think could be the game to go watch in Southwest Virginia. Chilhowie and Patrick Henry.
Ooh. Yeah, that's going to determine a lot of seedings in that 1A. Who you got?
I'm taking PH in this one. I think PH is the better team. I think Chilhowie's been sitting atop all year. Virginia High, of course, the 2A team, kind of exposed them a little bit. But that Northwood game still got me puzzled. And, maybe there was something going on with that. But the 7-0 win at Northwood still has me a little bit.
Well, I think they played a couple games in a 2 or 3 day span too. I heard that, so. But
well,
still,
that's got me on the edge of my seat there, so I'm going with PH in this one.
I've seen PH on film, and I think they're a really good football team. Chilhowie, like I said, they're up and down with me right now. I don't know which way to go with them. They're hard to figure out, but I'm gonna go with Patrick Henry on this, and like you, I think I've seen them on film, and I'm really impressed with them.
Got just about 5 minutes left here, so we kind of skip through these pretty quick. Marion and Virginia High. Marion, Virginia High.
I'm going with Virginia High on this.
Yeah, I think the woes continue for Marion so far with 1 win this season. I don't see them beating Virginia High right now. Richlands, and this is a unique game. Richlands and Davy Crockett.
I don't know a lot about Davy Crockett. What's going on with him there?
I really don't either. Probably myself. I think location of this game will have a lot to do with the outcome. And I don't know where the game's at, to be honest with you, but I'm going with Big Blue in this one here.
I'm going to go opposite of you. I'm going to go with Davy Crockett.
All right. Union, Abingdon.
You go first.
I think Abingdon's got, I think we're talking about a 6-point difference here. I think Abingdon pulls it out and takes them out in 7.
Have them played both of them. I think Abingdon is more solid at every position than Union is. However, Union lives in it for these tough situations. They seem like always in a big game they come out with it sometimes, except when they played Central. But if this was at Union, I think I would give them the edge at Bullitt Park. But going to Abingdon and their running game, Abingdon's running game, their passing game, they're very well balanced. They got a big offensive line. They got 2 really good running backs. Their defense is solid. There's really no weak spots on their football team. And that's the reason I'm going to go with Abingdon on this and predict them to win the Mountain 7.
I do think it's going to be close. Like I say, I'm saying less than a touchdown. 6 or under. All right. John Battle, Lee. This is John Battle's maybe last chance this year to get a win. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to take Lee in this one. Lee did manage to pull off 3 in a row. I think Lee gets the win here. 2 teams moving in the opposite direction.
That's a hard one to decide too. I think I'm going to go with Lee on this. Like I said, I think Lee's, they've taken a little step forward, and I think John Battle's still kind of sitting there, maybe take a little step back.
All right, Wise, Gate City.
Wise at Gate City, down at Legion Field, man.
Good environment to play a football game.
Absolutely is. Well, I know one thing. Coach Owens and the staff is not taking this one lightly. And, we know what can happen when we go down there at Gate City unprepared. So we're trying to get all the I's dotted and the T's crossed before we get down there and make sure we're sound, because you never go into Gate City, thinking you got to win. Especially, I don't care who you are. I just think they got a really good football player in number 11. I think it's the Jenkins kid, really explosive, really fast. Got to contain him. Just make sure he don't run crazy on us. We know he's going to run some. We just can't let him go crazy on us. But I think we go down there and play sound, fundamental football player style. I think we're going to come out on top. I'm going to go with Central on this one.
I'm taking Central as well. I think Gate City is a much improved football team and well coached. football team. I just don't think they can match up with you all the way around. So I'm going with Wise as well. Twin Springs, Tom Walker. I think this could be potentially a very good football game because Tom Walker is not – I mean, they beat Eastside the other day, and most people thought they were going to lose that game.
Is this the district title?
His team is moving in the right direction. Do what?
Is this for the district title?
For the most part, Twin Springs controls their destiny with the win. Yeah. Now I think Twin Springs is going to edge them out. I'm going with Twin Springs in this one, but I think Thomas Walker is going to make a game out of it. It's not going to be this game's not going to be decided until probably fourth quarter.
I'm going to agree with you on this. I think I think Thomas Walker's heading in the right direction, and he's got them going in the right direction, and they've overcome a lot of adversity this season. And so on the other hand, Twin Springs is sitting there playing really well right now, the top of their game. And I just think they're playing a little bit better, and I think it's going to come down to it. But I think Coach Warner and Twin Springs is going to pull it off in the end.
All right, and the last game on the schedule coming up tomorrow night, Grundy, Twin Valley.
Woo. Grundy at Twin Valley. I haven't seen Twin Valley play. I just know what their record is and, all that. And they've been playing really well. I don't know if they got enough arsenal to go in there. Is it at Grundy?
That Twin Valley.
Twin Valley. Oh. I think it might be a little closer than what people expect, but I'm gonna go with the Golden Wave on this one. I think they got too many weapons. I think Ian Scammell's too tough for them to stop.
Well, being a homer here, I agree with you. I think Ian Scammell's having a really good season for Grundy. I think Grundy's running game is very methodical, nothing fancy. They're going to run 3 or 4 plays. They're going to give you 75 different formations to look at, which is going to kill a lot of your prep time. The good thing for Twin Valley is they've had couple weeks here actually to prepare for this game. So I give Coach Ward kind of a little bit of an edge on maybe some other coaches who didn't have 2 or 3 or 4 days to prepare for them.
Right.
And it's going to be difficult if Twin Valley can stop Grundy's running game, if Twin Valley can get on the edge and get Jacob Cooper the ball in space, he can make stuff happen. So it's going to come down to who can stop who. Naturally, if it's muddy and wet, that straight ahead running is going to be more favorable than getting outside and getting on the edge. So that could lean toward Grundy's advantage. But being a homer, I'm going to have to go with Twin Valley in this one. The boys have had a couple weeks to heal up, and they've had a little bit more time than other teams to prepare for them. This is a big game. A lot of playoff ramifications on it here. Grundy, looking on the outside, looking in, Grundy could pick up enough points off of this win right here to get in.
Yeah,
pick up some points to help them possibly get in.
Right. I think the key is slowing down Grundy's running game. Ian Scammell's carrying it 40 times a game, 35 to 40 times a game. If they can limit his numbers and hold him probably to 100 and some yards,
I think he can do 150.
Yeah,
now, I really do. I think if they anything under 150, anything under 100, Twin Valley wins. Right. Anything under 150, Twin Valley still has a chance to win.
I agree with you. I just don't. Grundy's got that big offensive line, and I don't know if they can stop him. And that was my only thing, and that's the reason I'm going with the Wave.
All right. Well, that takes it. That's all of our all of our pigskin prognostications for this week. Hopefully next week we will be back on site in Bellacino'S, and hopefully get to have Krieger there with us and take everything, go back to normal on the show. Got any parting shots or anything real quick before we leave?
I'm good, Coach.
All right. I'm good too. Till next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Catch you on the flip side.